You're this the Prince of the Nightlife, DJ Melly Mel. Now tuned into the biggest Chanel Simone, April B, Flu Head, Grew Head podcast. Are you dumb? NYC, the ATL. Yeah, Brooklyn, what up?
What's up, y'all? What's up? We are back. Y'all know what it is. Flu Here, Grew Here podcast, where worlds collide.
No matter where you reside.
Yes, sir. And y'all know who I am, your girl, April B.
It's your girl, Chanel Simone in the building, your favorite Brooklyn babe.
Okay, period. Come on, tagline. All right, y'all. So listen, we are super excited because we have a peer here, but also somebody we admire. Her journey, her movement, what she stands for, and just her trucking it in this media industry. We got Akilah Ffriend in the building. Let's give it up. Come on.
Yes, and I'm rapping Uptown because I know I'm close to two Brooklyn.
Right.
The Bronx is in the building.
As soon as she said I was just getting there.
I know y'all was gonna get there, but I was like, come on.
Right now, baby, we already know April and I are your two favorite Brooklyn baddies. Now,
yes.
Everybody know it'll be a little tension, but we got a Bronx baddie in the building.
Yes.
Y'all. One day we gonna stop this Brooklyn Bronx beef.
We really are. Until then. Alright, so Akilah, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Of course, y'all. She's absolutely gorgeous. Her makeup is flawless.
Okay.
You know, they're going to see it, but for the listeners, we just have to let them know. So, Akilah, before we get into the steak and potatoes, we're going to start with our icebreaker, which is first class versus coach. Now, this is our version of like this or that, but today's first class versus coach is going to be us basically comparing like celebrity friendships, some fictional TV shows, and some real BFFs in real life. Now, if they're friend goals, you want to say first class. But baby, if it's giving enemy, if it's giving keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer, you're going to give them coach, okay?
Ooh, okay.
All right, now, let me give the disclaimer. If you cannot decide, you have to take a shot.
On a sippy sip.
On a sippy sip. I mean, we normally take the shots, but shots.
Shout out to Bombay Vodka.
Shout out to Bombay Vodka. Make sure y'all go to your nearest liquor store or go to www.bombayvodka.com.
Yes, sir. So this is our infamous big bowl. Three things in here, right?
Big bowl.
So you're gonna go ahead and dig in.
Okay.
That's the most controversial thing we got on the show. It starts fights.
All right. Do I read it out?
Yes.
Yeah, you can read it out. It's all about you.
Sanaa Lathan and Regina Hall. Oh,
Okay.
that's definitely a first class.
Yeah,
That's a first class
that's
moment.
cute.
That's
That's
cute.
cute. I like that.
I like them. You know how you know, like, the friends that grew up in the industry together, like, that's what they give me, like, we started young, but, like, we real friends now. Like,
That's a fact. Who out of the two, though, that y'all feel like is more
Regina.
Regina.
Hall.
Is there maybe it's her personality.
It is.
It's true.
giving.
You know, so she real low key, chill. But you know,
Those be the one that's honestly the
right.
right.
The wild one.
You know, y'all know what Tiffany Haddish said. You know, she ain't signed that NDA for Beyonce. She definitely said, listen, now we gonna leave it right there. So,
Child.
Let's
see.
I took one. Issa and Molly, Insecure, versus Pam and Gina and Martin. Oh, that's such a good one, y'all. Dang.
well, you tell me.
Yeah, you tell yours first.
I'm gonna say Pam and Gina is given first class.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
okay.
I love some Issa and Molly. Everyone used to say I was a Molly, but I feel like I'm more of an Issa. I'm definitely more of an Issa.
More of the awkwardness,
or definitely more. Okay, from a like career perspective, like Molly is definitely
of course,
right.
Yes.
From like a
social,
figuring it out, grinding and getting it is definitely an Issa. But Pam and Gina all the way. Friendship wise, like they got it.
Yeah, I was going to get Pam and Gina first.
Right. I think Issa and Molly shows us like friendship in this day and age. You know, like career, everybody trying to figure it out. Everybody's here. We trying to find love. We're trying to do all of this. So we're seeing like the modern friendships now. Pam and Gina was, you know, that 90s. Right. That was the auntie's friendship.
Not the auntie's friendship.
Okay.
Beyonce and Kelly Rowland.
Is it giving first class or coach?
You guys.
I'm kind of feeling like it depends on who you ask.
Wait, hold up. like a Bombay shop moment?
No, it might be a shop moment for me.
Okay,
Because I
y'all.
like it. But it also feels like it depends on who you ask between them, like whether or not it's gonna be first class or coach, right?
Ooh. I agree with that though. Okay, go ahead, Ffriend, because you look like you wanna grab me a shot though.
I love Beyonce, girl.
Yes, exactly.
You know, in this world, you gotta put that disclaimer. I love you, Beyonce and Kelly. But to me, it's like you don't know too much. It's like It's like you say first class because it's Beyonce and Kelly. You know, they started in this industry together. They've been kids, but it's more so on a coach because it's like. First of all, they low key, they in the cut. Yeah. You don't see them unless it's like an award show.
Yeah, or a party.
A party.
We're not invited to.
And we're not invited to. And then after that is, okay, well.
Yeah, I be wondering, like, is Kelly coming over to Beyonce house, like, sitting in the kitchen on a bar stool and they talking while she cooking and the kids is running around?
I kind of feel so because do you remember that moment? I think it was like a Netflix show or somewhere. Jay-Z saw Kelly and was like,
he was like,
so excited.
See her in a
So
minute.
it's given like.
Do you see her in a minute like that?
It's given like, you know when you see your good friend like.
That's what I'm saying. Usually be like, yo, what? Jay-Z. If I was seeing Beyonce like that, I'm like, Jay.
Yeah. Or I was like, all right, we see you at the house later. Like, you know, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, it's so much mystery there that you want to know, but then it's like,
then you kind of respect
really
the mystery, right?
Yeah, but you respect it, but it's like, girl, do you have a bowling or something?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, is it giving one of those?
I want to know, do Kelly call Beyonce like, girl, let me tell you my husband?
Yeah,
right.
like, that's what I'm
Did she answer Beyonce?
She calls shout out to Beyonce.
She gonna call her.
Maybe she gonna get on
that phone. Of course, some shit go down when there's $1 billion on the elevator.
I'm done. All right, we got Natalie Nunn and Scotty from Baddies West.
If you don't get the
right,
this baby.
I actually don't know their relationship. So I'm gonna say coach.
I don't know. So I follow a little bit of the baddies.
Right.
First of all, Natalie is a bad friend to Scotty. Okay.
Why?
Yes, girl. Do you know? Okay, so Natalie was getting into it with Krishan Rock or whatever, right? All right, boom. So she didn't want to slap Krishan because everybody knows when you slap Krishan, like slapping the linebacker. Girl, Scotty was like, Natalie, are you okay? And Natalie turned around and was like, yeah, and then beat up Scotty, and that's supposed to be their best friend.
Instead of going after who she
because she knew.
Because Natalie know
Natalie saw Krishan lift them weights, and then saw Blueface legs shaking, and she said, baby.
What you know about you supposed to cut somebody up and now you want to fight me? You done had this man slap me.
So I'm saying that's
that's crazy.
First of all, Natalie, girl.
Natalie's coach.
Anything with a friend with Natalie is different.
I run LA.
Iconic. Candy Burrs and Tiny versus Tiny and Shakana. It's definitely Candy and Tiny. Candy and Tiny is given first class.
Let me say that iconic
bicycle ride
with Shakana. Ffriend, get up! I'm trying. Like,
Tiny leg was gone.
Tiny, why y'all got a motorbike and we don't got a motorbike? Ffriend, come on. And she swung that bike around. Dang. Tiny and Shakana, that was
something else. They had a moment though. They had a run.
But they had their own show.
Yes.
But then stuff got real.
A man came home.
And the child, apparently didn't. Candy and Tiny, we gonna give it to them because they done won Grammys together. They done got money together. They still doing it. So shout out to them.
That's real.
Please. This is funny. This is funny. India, you did something.
Right?
Oh, okay. Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King. I mean, it's given first class all the way.
First of all, Oprah is my best friend. First class.
And to put you in a position to
share
your skills.
Listen,
like
Oprah don't spare no expense when it comes to Gayle. Like, Gayle be everywhere Oprah be.
That's her girl.
Hello, like, girl, it's like, honey, like I said, how Oprah put Gayle on, and their friendship is still thriving. You see it.
Yes.
It's just like, wow.
Yes.
Support. I wish
I want to be Gayle.
Right, I want to be Gayle. I ain't got to be Oprah. Let me be Gayle.
I want to be Stab Stedman. Baby,
I would rather
Stedman,
be Gail over Stedman.
but I want to. That's what I'm saying because Gail, I'm sure it's like
Even though Stedman has his own.
but Gail and Oprah, like it's like Gail and Stedman right here. Like I feel like Oprah be letting Stedman go. She's like, all right, move. But Gail gotta be right by her side.
Gail is right there.
Let me ask you something, and this is on topic but off. Let's talk about it real quick with Stedman. Do you agree with Oprah not marrying that man, or you like,
Oh, you asking her?
I can't vote.
I feel like, from a business perspective, I get it. But at this point in time, I don't see why not. Why she won't just marry the dude. I feel like at the beginning, like, yeah, of course, like, do what they potentially would do in your situation. But now it's like, he showed that he's there for you. Like, he is there for you. Like, that's just what it is.
Well, I know he did her will real nice.
That's what I'm like.
I know he don't care like
He don't
baby.
care. He probably don't care, but it's true.
Stedman ain't never said anything, did anything.
Nothing.
He not missing
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Yes.
He don't care if she married him. He don't care. He over there at the estate right now.
At this point, what is it called? Common law?
Common law.
Yeah, that's
true.
That's close enough.
That's
Close
it.
enough.
And Oprah don't even look like she really be liking Stedman, but he just be steady trucking along. He be right there in the picture. I see videos of Stedman just smiling.
Just hanging out.
When you with a rich bitch, you just smile for no reason. You just
And you know how to act.
okay. Okay.
But she and Mary, you gonna propose? I mean,
That's
she
true.
gotta tell me.
Right. Oh.
Oprah gotta say, I'm ready now.
Okay,
Thursday
Thursday sounds
his
great.
boys be talking about.
Man.
Yo, you still ain't marry her.
I
And Stedman be like, and who y'all married?
Right, I'm good. Like, damn, you know what? I ain't married. I can see him. I ain't married. Y'all have no problems. Jesus.
I just want to see it though. I need to see the ceremony.
Yes.
Just give me a good reception. Like,
You know what I feel like? A piece of me deep down in my heart feel like, and this is not wishing bad on anybody, for me to see it happen, Oprah gonna have to be on her last leg. And it's either like I said, I don't want to say it out loud, but something.
You think it's gonna be like, a press conference for us and like.
and more so just to give you power of attorney type stuff.
Yeah.
He has to make all of my decisions.
Like whether it's sickness or whether it's something financial, like something is gonna go. She's gonna be like, yeah,
It's time.
It's time. I'm gonna be like, what? Dang.
Girl, he already had the ring. You know.
Be over it. At that point, if I was Steph, I'd be like, never mind.
Okay. I'd be like, baby, it's okay.
He's gonna be like,
It's good.
shit.
His house is boy. Wrap his robe. He get out of bed, wrap his robe up.
And even if Oprah is like whatever term she on, if he still got you on one, you
Right. That's
Gotta get
exactly
on one
it.
knee.
That's exactly it. You can get down there. You can get down there. Hold on.
I can see Oprah right now. Yeah.
Baby, that was
That was a good set. That was a good set.
I didn't even know I needed to slap.
I did it.
Shout out to our producer India.
Yes.
Baby.
We had a real key there.
I felt like the homegirl.
Ain't nothing like talking about friendship.
Right. Hello. I felt a connection to that.
Okay.
Mixed with a little gossip, mixed with
A little tea, a little laugh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So listen, of course, here at Flew Here, Grew Here, we can't go any further in the show without doing our check-in with our guests. So our check-in is basically us coming to you saying, girl, tell us where you're from, but most importantly, tell us how where you're from and where you landed shaped you, your career, your life, your person, who you want to be. Go ahead, girl.
Okay, we gonna talk about it. Tell me where you're from. You landed where you're from.
Like when
they said it was at Olive Garden?
Y'all got me laughing when the sound don't come out like
oh, that's what you really
Wait, disclaimer, I'm Beyonce.
I'm gonna give it to her.
That's okay.
I'm the one loud in the restaurant. Girl, what is wrong with you? Yeah, I was screaming. I'm the one screaming in the restaurant.
I love it. I love it.
All right.
Go ahead and
All right, so what's up? So Well, I mean, I'm from the Bronx, New York. We already talked about it. You know, I love to rap. I'm first gen, so you know everybody from Jamaica. So we out here though.
Right, you got the best. You got the Trinity girl and you got the Jamaica.
There we go. There we go. A little soca and dance hall. That's a party. I'm here for it. So
Shout out to Rum Punch.
What's up? Like, you know, like I said, New York really shaped me though. So I feel you, and I definitely understand where this is about. Like, I understand the vision. Yeah, I feel the vision. So, I mean, now I'm in Atlanta for now. We were just talking about it. It was cute. It is cute. I'm sure I'll be back and forth for sure. But like, you know what I've been doing the media business side, and I've been also doing the talent side, and now I'm just kind of merging both worlds. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, true. Let's see. I mean, couple stats, I guess. Couple things rolling. Like I said, the media business side, that's kind of been my background. Like I went to Columbia, got my MBA from there.
Okay.
And from there, I was
Columbia University, honey.
Let's talk about
it. Hold on. Okay.
It was a moment.
I know, right?
So where am I? No, but I mean, and so from there, I was focused more so on like, you know, building actually digital companies, building streaming services. So I worked at Apple TV, was a content executive there for a little bit. HBO Max, kind of helped launch HBO Max with that. A bunch of different things in the industry.
Girl over here looking for pay. Oh man.
And the biggest thing now, I think I'm going to talk about it more on social because I kind of like leave that in its own space. Like, you know, and maybe it's a, you know, first gen Caribbean thing. I'm like, listen, what I do,
Right.
Y'all be 15 jobs.
And don't say nothing.
Don't say nothing. Just be like, listen, you know, but I don't want to lead with that usually. But now it's like, no, you kind of have to, especially as Black women, like, lead with your shit. You know what I mean? So that was me. And then made the job all the way. I was, you know how people have the 9 to 5 and the 5 to 9. My 5 to 9 was really trying to build myself in the industry. And so like, you know, I've been doing, whether it be kind of like the red carpets, the, you know, having my own podcast, really trying to grow in this space and like make it my own in a sense. And the worlds kind of collided this past year with Revolt. And so I've just been doing the talk show, the first season of the talk show, Black Girl Stuff.
Yes.
And then also doing the podcast with them as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
We love it.
Okay, girl, yeah, because, okay, so when I was on Instagram and I'm scrolling, I'm like, oh, Black Girl Stuff dropped their season 2 trailer. And I'm like, okay. Excuse me, I sent it to Chanel. I'm like, Chanel, where our friend?
What's up?
What's going on? I said, hold on, wait a minute now.
And I'm gonna be honest. On the show, I will say this. I've been following Brie Renee for a long time, so I've always knew about Brie Renee. Loved her. We did a couple things with her with Media Girls Network.
Oh, right.
And baby, that was my first introduction to you. And honestly, what drew me to the show was you.
Thank you.
And you know when you get older and they say, "Oh, representation matters," and you hear it all the time.
Yep.
But I didn't really see it until I'm like, well, who is this?
Yo.
Then when you came with Media Girls Network, shout out to them. It's
Yes,
like,
yes, we were
right. Me and April came and tell us like we from.
It was a whole moment. It's true.
It was a whole moment.
It's true.
So, really, what happened?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, no, for real. Let's talk about it. And this is no shade, no tea to Black Girl Stuff, or, you know, but tell your truth, talk your shit.
And what you described, when I tell you the amount of people who told me the same thing, they looked online and this and that, like, wait, what? To be honest, and you know, I'll say what I can and all that, but like from my perspective, it was a level of just like chemistry and whether or not they felt like there was chemistry. I felt like there was enough, right? And I do think when it comes to just like speaking my truth, speaking like, you know, about who I am, showcasing who I am just by being me and knowing that really related to so many other women. And like you was an example of that, but it's like, did they believe that? You know, and that's the question of the day. That's still kind of up in the air. Like, I'm still talking with them, obviously, like I said, doing the podcast, so still affiliated with the network and, like, you know, going back and forth about, like, potential conversations for things, you know, in the future. So it's not no shade or tea towards Revolt, but I think it's like a level of, were they ready for that? That's how I feel. Like, was that show the right format for my truth and my black girl, you know, like, and who I represent. And that's a question for y'all to answer as the audience, because I can only answer as me, you know, coming in and doing my thing, but
at the same time, from a viewer standpoint, now that you told us that, but honestly, still from a viewer standpoint, we're looking at it more so, and I'm gonna say it.
Guys, you know,
why the black girl had to leave?
Okay, can we start from the beginning? Because when
literally that's the only thing I could think of.
Because when Black Girl Stuff first started, when they debuted the cast, it literally was 3 light.
That was a thing. For
sure. Light up, and it's nothing against light skins,
right?
But it was 3 light skinned girls, like, and not like caramel, like, you know, butter pecan.
Right.
It was like red bones, like, you know, and then it was beautiful Akilah, and they're beautiful too. But then it was like, so that right there, I think really caught us off guard, because every time we watch the show, I'm like, I felt like there was no, and not that you needed it, but like there was no backup. Like, you know, like, I feel like, okay, so they can relate to each other.
Right.
But then it's like, here you come with your story. And then it was like,
so then it puts me in a bit on a thing where it's like, yo, I'm just speaking. Right.
And then it was like, but how can, but then it was like, and then I feel like when I watched the show too, it was almost like everybody else was allowed to speak their truth with no repercussions, no backlash, no nothing. But then when it came to you, it almost was, and I'm not saying that they did this, but it almost was looking like the angry black female.
And that's something that I was very conscious of, which is annoying, because on a show like you know, one thing for me, I was like, listen, yes, I've been through some things, but I don't want to be a walking poster board for trauma either.
Yes.
Like, 'cause I'm not, and dark-skinned black women are not.
No,
like, we not. This is just a part of it, but it's not like, it's not our story in totality. But I feel like, you know, that was a level of, if I wasn't going there, and it's not like I heard this from anybody, so it's just my own opinion. It's like, you know, if I wasn't going there, I felt like, you know, was I going to be interpreted as being real? You know, because it's not like, if we speak our truth sometimes and it's and it's sad, then it's real. But if it's not sad, then it's like, okay, hold on, what's going on? Like, we're okay to be happy. Yeah, we're okay to have a life that wasn't filled with pain and, like, you know, distress. And I do think it's different, you know, especially why I feel like things that we're doing, y'all being in the industry, y'all talk and just showing up, it makes a difference, because yes, there's a lot of black women like allowed to occupy space, but it's very different when you have
heard that
racially.
accent.
You heard it?
Yeah, listen.
I'm saying I'm outside, okay? One time for it.
All right.
You're okay.
Girl. Quickly.
But when you have racially ambiguous presenting black women speaking for all black women, it just lands differently to us. And that's just what it is. It does. And it's no shade to anybody else, but it's just going to land differently, which is why we need to also occupy those same rooms. Gotcha. You know?
So the love you were receiving, especially like women like April and I, right? Yeah. In the sense of like, oh my God, like, it's like a fresher breath air when we see darker skinned women, and not just to like make it like light skin versus dark skin, but in this industry that we're realizing, we're like a year and a half, 2 years in the game, let's say this. So we're still new, we're still rookies to some. It's like, no, we know it's still there, but a piece of us is like, nah, it can't be that bad. Until you like, wait, hold up. How she got? So you mean to tell me y'all need me to go get a BBL, a 30-inch bust down? Do I need to do all of this just to? Do I need to have 100K followers? Even validation, like here, it's like, wow, like this is really still a thing.
It's still a thing.
In 2023.
Absolutely still a thing.
So talk about your experience in the media industry, and have it took a toll on your relationship or your talent? Let's say. Do they overlook your talent from
Yeah, I think especially this past year, like, and it goes beyond Revolt, goes to other, you know, just being in the game, period. Yeah. I think it just showcases so much more why, you know, even as Black women, we have to have our own, you know what I mean? And we say that in life in general, but that applies to media too. Like, you do have to have your own following. You do have to come up with your own stuff. You do have to, like, form your own entities, like things like this, because, you know, that's where power, I think, comes from. And that's where sustainability comes from. Like, yeah, you can get, you know, the votes of approval from other people, but to, like, be on the same playing field, talent isn't enough. I've realized that. Talent isn't enough. Brains isn't enough. I just told you, and this was a snippet of what I've done. You know what I mean? In terms of, like, what I've done even on the business side of media. But it's not enough. It's not enough because, you know, other people have to believe it. And when we're in a situation where dark-skinned Black women are less believed, less trusted, less, you know, kind of, you know, given that leeway, you have to just do more. And it's unfortunate, but it's not, like, I think for folks like us, it becomes motivation where it's like, listen, you want me to do more? I'll show you how I could spend my 24 hours. You know what I mean?
One thing that you just said, talent isn't enough. So what do we do? No, seriously. I mean, like you said, the brains, the talent, is the accolades, is all of those are overlooked when it comes to, you know, how you present yourself and everything. So what do we do?
like
girl, when
deep sigh. I think the key is ownership. Like, the two things you do. I think the first thing is figure out a way to own a piece of the pie. Like, we're talking from a media perspective, but this goes to all different industries. If you don't own what you're a part of, or own a sliver of what you're a part of, you're a commodity. Like, you're in and out. You know, it's whatever. They can trade you in, and as soon as you're playing hopscotch with your life. Like, if you're not doing that. So it's kind of like, one is ownership, and the two, really figure out, and that's something that I sometimes need to do as well, like, figure out what makes you, like, truly different. Because sometimes the things that I think personally that I'm like, oh, you know, it's easy, like, whatever, like, we could figure it out, no problem. But then it's like, no, it's not. It's not. And so those things aren't, you know, make that your trademark in a sense. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand. When you, like, own who you are, you own the room in a sense. And I think there's a level of being able to just achieve in timing, in God's timing. Like, which is kind of annoying sometimes to think about. But listen, God's timing, I sometimes be like, come on, God, how many times I gotta talk to you, God?
You must have been on the phone with me and Chanel, because we have these conversations all the time.
Right.
Like,
This girl, cause you know, you ask somebody else, well, girl, I just prayed last night, and
the next day, saging everywhere, doing all the things.
She's not even on that.
Right.
I know, right.
Especially when the industry as a whole is changing. It's not even like you need to do this or do that or whatever. It really comes from, it seems like, how other people perceive you. And it goes back in terms of us being, like, sometimes having to work twice as hard, 3 times as hard because of appearance, because of how other people interpret your appearance. You know what I mean?
Listen, no, I feel you as a obviously a dark skin, brown skin, whatever y'all want to say.
Whatever, right?
Female, but also a plus size female in this industry.
Right.
It's very difficult to understand. You know, people call you when they, you know, you see the difference. And I told Chanel this the other, we did an event, and I told Chanel, I was like, you know, it's funny, because when we're in these places, you know, these people, oh, you're my dog, you're this, you're that. Right. But they don't interact with you. They don't support you. They don't post you. But I see who they post. Yes. I see who they interact with. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Because I want to know, like, who is partaking in this gatekeeping.
Yes.
You know? Yes. And it's really hard, especially for us, because I think we did a meeting with somebody, and they kept bringing up, well, you know, y'all as dark-skinned plus-size girls. And I'm like, what the hell do that got to do with anything?
Really?
Like, it was, and maybe, let me speak for myself. Look, I got a little angry here. I'll speak for myself. That, to me, really irritates me.
I'm sure.
It really irritates me.
Yep.
And I'm like, I know people try to, like, you know, oh, yeah, you know, girl, you killing it for... But it gets really, it's like you pretty for a dark skin chick. I feel it. What we not supposed to be pretty? Like, what you mean? Like, you know, so I have a question, because I know, you know, we watch Black Girl Stuff, but you said you still do the podcast.
Yes. It's a whole different thing. So it's not Black Girl Stuff, the podcast, or anything like that. It's a podcast that's on Revolt's podcast network. So it's like an original show that they have on there that it's like, It's called Monuments to Me. We're in its second season now, and it's still, grassroots, building it up. They building up the network overall, so just kind of building with them and seeing what's up
Is
there.
it the same host?
No, it's me and one other host called Dawn Montgomery.
Okay.
And so we kind of do topics. It's a little more mature, I would say, like in terms of the topics and the audience. It's just like about Black women, but really just like all the things that might affect us. So,
Okay, because my question was like, so how you do the podcast
with the same host? Actually, y'all can't see me, but y'all can hear me. That'd have been crazy. That'd been crazy.
She was like, I do the podcast with them. And I kept thinking, okay, Akilah, you said you went to Columbia, baby.
Why?
Put 1 and 1 together.
Why?
Like, this is not making sense. Like, Y equals MX plus B. Like, okay, cool.
No, right.
All right, so now, how did you get on the business side? Like, was that your first,
Yeah, my whole goal, like for me, for a long time was like, no, I want to be a media executive, and then be someone that also talks about me, like being able to do both. How can I do both? How can I be an Andy Cohen, but like you know how he was able to do his thing? And so for a long time, like that was the goal. Like let me get to an executive. So that's kind of what I went to school for. Like I went to school for business, and then kind of focused in on content strategy and business development and doing deals. And so I did a lot of the deals and like buying shows, pricing shows, figuring out what shows should be on, all these different players and things like that. Helped launch a couple streaming services, as I mentioned, and been doing that. Like that's kind of where my bread and butter in a sense of when it comes to knowing the business. And so like experiencing it, how we're talking about on one end from being the talent, being the like kind of in front of the camera, but it's a whole other world. Like being behind the camera and trying to climb that corporate ladder. Like,
and that's what I was going to ask you, because okay, so you come from the world where like buying shows and pricing shows, meaning you have to look at talent, marketing, all of that, to now being a talent.
Being the talent, right.
What does your different strategy look like being the person who picks the talent versus now being the person that has to be picked?
Exactly. So, I mean, beforehand, it was like, the producers and all that, they're the ones, who are choosing the actual talent. I'm just choosing whether or not it's worth it to have it on our platform. So, and it was different. It's more so like, I'm looking at metrics like, the box office, how much did that do for it? We have a, celebrity talent here. Like maybe we should have him do an interview in order to promote the show. Like maybe so it's a lot more like I would say highbrow in a sense because it was focused on streaming services that focused on like type A.
Gotcha.
All around the thing. This is a whole different world for me. Like it's a whole different world in terms of being out here and trying to, in a sense, like sell yourself without feeling like you're selling yourself. Just being yourself and feeling like it should charge a premium for that in a sense. So it's a totally different world. It's a totally different group of people that I interact with. Like everything is new, but it's
you to make it make sense.
Right.
Why should I?
Right. That's it.
Is it gonna do numbers? So
That's it.
All right, when we start doing our pitching,
that's
and
right.
We
can talk about it.
When we get on, let's talk about it offline because we gotta talk about it.
Oh, you got pictures and sponsors.
No, listen. Are we serious? Listen, this is, and credits to Chanel for her vision, like for real, because like, but. When she brought this to me, I'm like, Chanel, I tell her every day, like, this is gonna be big.
Yes,
like, this is gonna be so big. Like, so, and we making connections with our good friend, Akilah Ffriend.
I'm dead.
Shots. Shot, baby. Hold on. Ooh, I need a chaser. I'm gonna chase him.
Ooh. Girl, you better drink that water. Okay, I have one last question for you while we're here because so now that you're in the business, well, you've been in the business, but
different side, right?
What do you see as your legacy, like, and what change do you think you can make? In this being like on both sides of the fence. I mean, I know you're not the producer, but at the same time, like, I know producers. Like, do you tell your producer friends, like, listen,
let's figure something out. A lot of people that I knew and know are like, they're so many different aspects of the business. Like some are financiers, like some are more investing, some are more, like it's a very much like, and if people are a part of it, it's very much, again, like more the business. And so now I'm building that producer relationship, the relationship with other like folks who are talent, things of that nature. But in terms of my legacy, like the reason why I even got in media was about access to me. Like I want to see people, I want to feel people, that I want to like be represented on screen, whether that be animated or unanimated, scripted or unscripted. I want to make sure that we are present, and I also want to create some level of community. Like so I do feel like I lead with that energy because I'm truly like, yo, like, let's communicate, let's build this community and let's get it. Like there's so much room for everyone. And so I think my legacy is going to be surrounded by that. Figuring out a way, I think it is obviously unique, but it's something, when it clicks, it'll click. Like in terms of why business and talent was so interesting to me and why I've made some sort of stride in both, right? And so I'm just kind of like playing it by ear, figuring it out.
Okay, so my next question is, one thing about me, my vision right now is I gotta be a media host. I love to talk. I don't know what else I want to do, but I want to talk to people.
Right.
I did behind the scenes, but not like as far as a career. Just like, you know, when you do a PA internship.
True.
But my vision is talking. But one thing I've been seeing with media hosts, because number one, what they say, everybody trying to be an influencer, everybody trying to be a host. It's not even talent no more. It's how many followers you have. So, you know, we get discouraged with things like that too. That's something me and April talk about all the time. It's like, yo, do I have to buy followers? Like, yo, what's going
just do
on?
something, right?
So people that I know in the media industry once were a media host. Now they're like, oh, I'm a producer.
I've seen
or
that
now,
too.
I transitioned to media sales. Like they're doing something else, and now they're making money.
Right.
You know, it might not be 6 figures, but now they're like, girl, I could finally.
They feel good about it.
Right.
Yes.
But like they're still connected with this entertainment, but now they're like, girl, I'll just do a couple YouTubes and get it over with. But I'm still over here like,
which is good. Yeah, that's the main goal. Right.
Like, I mean, so low key, sometimes I feel like I slowly want to transition. Not saying it's not a bad thing to learn both, because it's still a good thing. But I don't want to drift off in the sense of like I've given up on media because of society.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to future media correspondents out there who feel like, you know what, it's oversaturated. I don't have time for this. I'm not getting booked. This exposure word we keep hearing, it was cute at first.
And don't nobody want to work for free.
It was cute at first, but now it's like, okay, like,
yes,
on, like, I'm not pulling up to this showcase no more.
That's such a good question, because I feel like, you know, everyone experiences it, but I also experienced it because this is the first, like I said, I've been doing it, but it was always like, you know, part-time. You know, I had my stable job and was doing this on top of it. So it's the first time that I'm realizing what it is to kind of be in a lull, in a sense, where it's like, you know, okay, I still got the podcast, whatever else, but it's not like, it's not corporate type of executive type of, right? You know what I mean?
There's always something to be done.
That's it. Exactly. So I think it's, I think the biggest advice is to go in knowing that, because I think a lot of people go in, myself included, like not recognizing like, no, like there are truly hills and valleys. Like there are highs, there are lows, there are times when you book 24/7, times when you're not, right? And so I think if people just go in knowing that that's the situation, your eyes are a little more open and you're not so like zeroed in on one or two opportunities. I think it's also good to have another skill. Like, I feel like maybe it is a Jamaican in me, but I'm like, listen, bro, like, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. Jobs. Like, you're not about to know, baby.
So a check is coming from somewhere.
Somebody is paying me.
Somewhere,
okay.
There you go.
So you have to, especially now, as you said, a lot of hosts, like, this might not even be their primary thing, like, and it's discouraging for folks who that's their thing, like literally this is it. But it's, you know, it shows like that's just kind of where we are as a society. You kind of have to do 3, 4 things, be 3, 4 things in order to be taken. Exactly. You know.
Exactly.
Yep.
There you have it, guys.
Yeah.
Hand clap.
Sorry, y'all.
I like it. Don't embarrass me in front of Right, so baby, that's what you have. Now we do have another segment, y'all.
Yes.
So we're gonna jump deep into the baggage claim. So in this segment, we allow our listeners to let us in on their baggage in order to offer advice. So we're gonna listen to our viewer baggage and help them sort through their drama. We ain't gonna call y'all drama. We just wanna know what's going on. So we did make some announcement that you were going to be on the show.
Fun.
Right. So we, had a couple DMs here. So there's 2 questions. So our girl, She said her question is, being that we are already overlooked as darker women in the industry, how do you find loopholes to stand out more than others with your platform?
That's a good question.
Loopholes. I don't know if it's necessarily loopholes, but you cannot, not even outside of media, I feel like you cannot be in this world, in this society as a dark-skinned Black woman and not have confidence. Like, I feel like you just have it. Sometimes because it was forced into you in order to just be around, or you have it because you love your features. And I'm more of the latter. I'm like, no, I really enjoy being Black. Like, honey, it's lit. Like, I love being a dark-skinned Black woman. And because of that, I wouldn't even say it's a loophole, but I recognize it was a thing. Me wearing my natural hair, me like kind of rocking my natural features. I'm like, I'm just doing me.
I'm glad you said that, because I always question, like, when you would do the show.
Yes.
Were you like wanting to try the wigs, or were they?
It was a mixed bag. So at first, you saw it beforehand, obviously on IG.
Yeah,
and everything. I'm just rocking
You're
my
rocking my hair. Beautiful.
But then I was kind of like, you know what? I don't know what this situation is like. It kind of reminded me of like the first couple times in corporate America where I showed up in a way because I was like, listen. Which audience I'm at? Like, what's this looking like? What's this looking like? And you kind of have to do that. I mean, you don't have to, but it was a thought process for me because I was like, I just wanted to test the temperament a little bit, and it was great. I was actually encouraged and behind the scenes and everything about like, yo, like I think it'll be dope if you do it. Like, and you know, I was talking to them about it as well, and I was like, all right, let's pull it out. I didn't want it to become a thing, which I felt like again, me being the one dark-skinned woman on there, I thought it would be more of a thing than it needed to at first, and so I was like, let me neutralize this a little bit before I come out, you know, being me. And that's it.
That was crazy. We just like the whole HBCU thing. Like, I'm an HBCU graduate.
Cool.
They love Black people, love everything we do, but yet it's still no like representation of HBCU. So just like the Black culture, they love everything we do, rocking natural, everybody coming out with natural products, but yet I still can't even go to work.
With my natural hair.
Yes.
Or you even have these corporate executives in these media industries. Oh, I love natural Black women, Black girl. You a Black girl.
You Black girl, but then to me, pull up wig. Yeah. Like, make it make sense. You're absolutely for real. Facts.
So
it's true.
It is. I remember the first time I wore braids to my corporate job, and my manager at the time was like, "Oh, those are nice," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Crazy.
Like, oh, okay.
Don't worry, give me a month or two.
They over there looking like Scooby-Doo.
Oh, not Scooby-Doo.
What I say? You always choose violence.
No, because
She always chooses violence.
I love it here.
Yeah. But
right.
Little rice in your hair.
Okay. Girl, we about to get canceled before we even start.
I'm just saying. I didn't say who has nice.
I didn't say who.
I think we can do what is it? Power of elimination. Like,
right. True.
Well, they could do that on their own. I'm just saying. Like, y'all, no, let me go on to the next question before I get mad. All right, next one. How did you learn to become rational with people around you who had a certain standard when it came to being the darker girl? How did you keep yourself calm during these times that you wanted to react?
Wait. I feel like this is very targeted. I'm trying to think what they're trying to say. So it's like...
I think what they're trying to say is kind of like, how do you keep a level head when people challenge you because you are a dark-skinned woman?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, because like people will literally try to, like I said, like dark skin plus size woman, look, you tall, or you're beautiful, you're a stallion, like look at you tall, or just like
so
how we
keep
talk,
it cute? Because I'm still trying to learn. Ask April.
I'm actually...
April, talk to her.
Chanel will call me and be like, okay, April, I need you to respond in the corporate world. Because if I respond, it ain't going to be like, all right,
I think you need both, though. You need that kind of energy. You do need that kind of energy.
Yeah.
For me, it's all about recognizing intention. I feel like I have... Not all the way. It's not 100%. For the most part, I feel like I have a good enough read on people where I'm like, what's really good? Are you saying this because of intimidation? Because there's a lot of people that would try to use something that they think you're insecure about to try to intimidate you to stay in your spot in a sense. So if that's what it is, I don't go toe-to-toe, because by going toe-to-toe, I'm giving them power to say, like, okay, you won. You could get me. You could trigger me. So usually it's like, if I could detect who you are, I can move accordingly, right? And then there's other people that are doing it just to be funny and, you know, trying to be funny. And sometimes by not going ha-ha, that's enough to say, like, you know, you're not about it. So...
Yes, baby. So there you have it.
Yes.
Oh my God, the conversation that definitely needed to be had, y'all. Let's give it up.
I loved it, y'all.
All right, Akilah. So listen, baby, we know you got a lot of things going on, but tell the people how they can keep up with your journey, where they can follow you.
Definitely keep up with me, y'all. It's just everything is at my name, at Akilah Ffriend, AKILAHFFRIEND on all the things. Yeah, tap in with me. Obviously, like I said, I'm doing the podcast.
Yes,
I got a couple other things bubbling up. I appreciate it. You know, it might show a little bit.
Listen. All right, y'all. And listen, y'all can follow me at it's April B __. That's on all social media platforms.
And baby, you already know your favorite Brooklyn babe. I am Chanel Simone on all social media platforms. And also follow the podcast.
Absolutely.
Podcast on all social media platforms. Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. And we that's it. We lit.
That's it. We lit every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Check us out. Bye.